This morning I met with Joe and Jessi Fleck over at their house in Belmont. Their neighbor was doing some yard work, so the sound is not quite what we would hope it would be, but enjoy. Well, good morning. It's Sunday morning, and I'm over here at the Fleck's house in a beautiful little street called Vineyard Street?
Vineyard Way.
Vineyard Way. And I'm with Jessi and Joe and Grayson. How you doing, Grayson? Grayson insisted on being a part of this interview. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say about the pandemic and the violence and all of that. But so how are you guys doing?
We're doing really well. As you can see, Joe doesn't have his sling on anymore, so
I'm back to work for a month now, so that's going well. Sore still and stuff, and I just finished up rehab last week, so I'll be reevaluated with the surgeon in another month. So
you've had quite a little stretch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My prostate cancer and then torn rotator cuff. So.
Well, the good news is that the cancer's gone. He's been tested twice and his numbers are below 0. So
that's wonderful.
We caught it just in time.
And that was, you went in for an insurance or something interview. You were going to get life insurance?
Yep.
His blood test.
Yep. His life insurance had expired and we needed to get it renewed, and went for his normal blood test, and they picked up on some levels, and they said that he should go see his doctor, and that's what started the whole thing, really.
Primary care retested, was positive again, so then we got in touch with the urologist and started the process. But he was with my levels. He said we're gonna act on it quickly.
Yep.
Get moving on it.
So. Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
Yep.
And we caught it just in time.
And how you feeling?
I feel great. I really do. Yeah.
Now, has your work been affected at all by what's going on?
Earlier this month, they had the drivers, not all drivers in at the same time, just to prevent. We don't spend a lot of time in the buildings, but just so there wasn't as many people there. But everyone's back full time now. But we wear masks in the office area when we enter and stuff, and we actually take a temperature check in the morning. Everyone that comes in, just precautions. So there's nothing wrong with the precautions.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But we don't. Normally we leave delivery slips. We're not trying to have no contact with the customers whatsoever.
Yep.
Even the service department, they've just started up installs, but they weren't doing that because it takes 2 guys, and so unless they can be 6 feet apart at all times, they didn't want to do installs. But they're lightening things up a little bit, so it's starting to get stuff moving now.
Good.
There have been some precautions.
And how are things at Melcher Prescott?
Melcher and Prescott is, we're getting really busy. Things are starting to open up, obviously, through the Lakes region. There's been a lot of questions about how people should open up safely. Should they be opening up? There's a lot of clients out there that are struggling to open up. It's amazing how much some of the smaller businesses in this area really rely on just people coming from out of state that aren't coming from out of state. So really, there's a lot of smaller businesses that are struggling right now, and I really think that just helping to support them any way that you can. Joe and I, we've taken the avenue of anybody that's helped our kids, that's offered some kind of sponsorship, or if they've given to a donation when they were out trying to do fundraising. We've tried to focus on those businesses because they helped us in a time of need. We want to help them in a time of need. So we've gone to places like Patrick's and ordered out from the Union Diner as soon as she opened up, and Shooters, just a lot of the local businesses.
Yep.
We've even switched to going to getting our milk in glass jars now. We go and get them from local farmers, and our eggs from local. We're really trying to do what we can to do that.
That's wonderful.
But Melcher and Prescott, we obviously we've considered essential, so we were open through the whole pandemic, and I was one of the lucky ones that kept going into the office every day, trying to just keep the flow going. And if a client did need assistance, I was there. I've signed new applications on the hood of somebody's truck. I was out on the foyer one day, just doing whatever we could because they couldn't come into the office. But we did what we could to make sure that they could get what they needed.
Great. And Jessi's also the chair of the outreach committee. And I know you put in a request for some funds to be sent on Friday. Who do we send checks to?
Well, we actually weren't able to meet the deadline because we were trying to do New Hampshire Gives, and they were doing the matching, and we weren't able to meet that deadline. So Carl and I talked, and we're going to be sending out some checks again to the local businesses, New Beginnings, Isaiah 61 Cafe, Belknap House, a lot of the organizations that we
Support locally.
support locally.
Yep.
And they do need our help.
Yep.
Funding is going, I mean, obviously New Hampshire had a lot of the funding that came in through the grant money, and that's all been dispersed now. So really, this is, if you have the means to give, now's the time to give.
Yep. And if you're watching this and you have a need, you should contact us at the church.
Yep,
Because we have
absolutely.
funds that we would gladly help any family.
Yep, we've had a lot of donations that have come in from our membership and beyond, and they really want to try to help support families that just need a little bit of an extra boost before they can get back to work or get back on their feet. And if you're a small business too that needs to get a little extra, you know, we'd be glad to hear you out and see how we can help.
Good. And how's Renee doing?
Renee is doing awesome. She's actually been one of those frontline people that have been working hard over at the grocery store. So she's in the checkout line over at Shaw's. She was there just about every day, working long hours into the night. So, you know, we were really, she took a lot of heat for a while there when it was really crazy. A lot of people yelling because there wasn't toilet paper, and you know, she was there doing that. And I don't know
was
how
her wedding impacted by this?
Yes, it was.
Oh, so tell us about that.
Well, we made the decision that we were going to wait for next year. We're going to postpone it for next year. We have the majority of our family lives out of state.
Yep.
And in order to make sure that they could travel safely, a lot of them had been out of work. They're teachers, so we want to make sure that they could get back to work, and they don't know what it's going to be like in the fall. So we just made it was the right choice for her. You know, she says, I don't think we should be dancing 6 feet apart on the dance floor. I want to be hugging people, and you know, we're huggers. I think that's been the hardest part of this whole thing, is I can't hug anybody.
Yeah.
Except for Joe. I hug him a little.
And Grayson.
Once in a while. And Grayson, yes. And I've sneaked a hug into my mother and Renee every now and then too. But yeah, we decided that it was best. It was the best decision for
Yep.
her.
And how about well, how is your mom doing?
My mom is doing really well. She was in, you know, quarantine all by herself for a little while, so we were checking in. We were doing FaceTime, and she's finally, she's got it in her head that she can go out and start focusing on getting her little group of friends together. So they meet every once in a while in parking lots and have lunch together. Social distancing,
Yeah.
you know, wearing their masks. But she's, now that the stay-at-home's been lifted, she's going to get out a little bit more, I think.
Good.
I think you're going to see her out and about a little bit more than my brother would like to see her, but she's out. She's doing really well.
Good. And how about what's up with Vincent?
Vincent is, he's had to do the last semester here at home, so
Yep.
he's been doing his studies at home. But he just found out that he's going to be doing a co-op through the school in a couple weeks. On his birthday, actually, on the 29th, on his 21st birthday,
Wow.
he's taking off. He's heading down to Massachusetts. He got a co-op to go around and test stormwater for chemicals and runoff. So he's going to be doing some testing through the middle of August, I guess. And then he also was one of the nominations for doing the orientation. He's going to be a squad leader.
Oh, great.
And then that'll continue through his first that'll be continuing through the year when he goes back to school too. He'll also be a squad leader.
Good.
So he's doing really well.
Good. And what? Anything else you want to add? I know you're anxious to get back to church.
Yes, I'm very anxious to get back to church, actually. I can't tell you how much sitting in that pew next to Nan Fay and Evelyn Morse, just going in, sitting there. I mean, being at the church just is really one of those things that I go in, I can refocus my week. It's actually where I feel like I'm most connected to my dad. I feel like that's my place that I meet him the most. But it's important for us.
Yep.
It really is. And, I mean, we're very grateful that you're doing the online service, because actually I've gotten a little used to being in the pajamas with my cup of coffee, watching the service every Sunday morning. And
Well, we don't have a dress code. We probably don't want you bringing your cup of coffee, but pajamas would be fine.
thinking my first time coming back, I might be in my pajamas.
Yeah, that would work. That would work.
It's quite comfortable. But it's really an important thing, and we, you know, for somebody that has obviously been going out every day and going to, I miss that part of my routine. I really do. So if we could do that safely somehow, I would really like to explore avenues of the people that are not maybe as high risk,
Right.
being able to have the opportunity to come in, even if it's to see your video that you tape and have it a screen drop down, and just to be able to sit in the pew would mean a lot to me.
Good. Excellent. Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with me. Hope you have a great day.
You too.
And say hi to Vincent when he gets home.
We will.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.